One of the best ways to learn words is to actually use an understanding of prefixes. If you could understand and learn the master prefixes, then you'll find that the study of words is actually easier. What's a prefix? Prefixes are word parts that create new meaning when they're added to the beginning of a word. Let's take a look at the prefixes im, il, ir, dis, non, and un. These are some of the more important prefixes in our language. Now, let's take a look at a few words that we already know, because our key is going to be to learn to use what we know to figure out what we don't. Okay? All right, so the word visible, we know what that means, can be seen. Irresponsible, someone that you can trust to do what they should do. We have the word literate, someone that can read. Impossible can be possible can be done. Polite, having manners. We know what stop means, no more movement, a smoker. You have the word popular, liked by many people. Able, having the ability to. And honest, tells the truth. Well, these are all words that we know. What will happen if we add these prefixes to these words? Let's see how they change the words. Okay, so now I've got the word visible and I add into it. And I get the word now invisible, which means can't be seen. I have responsible, I add the prefix ir to it. And what do I get? I get a word that means irresponsible. Okay. Now, I also have the word literate. If I had il before, I get illiterate, can't read or write. I have impossible. I added im to possible, and you know what I get? I get impossible, can't be done. And if I add im to polite, I get not mannerly, behaving badly. I get the word impolite. Non to stop, I get the word non-stop. If I add non to smoker, I get the word non-smoker. If I add on to popular, I get the word unpopular, which means not liked by many people. If I add on to able, I get the word unable. And if I add dis to honest, I get the word dishonest, doesn't tell the truth. Notice these are all therefore negative prefixes, aren't they? You might be thinking, well, what do they mean? Anytime I add in, or ir, or il, im, or non, or un, or dis, I get the negative or the opposite of that word. So these are what I call the not family. Okay? I like calling them the not family. Why do I call them that? Because everything they do turns to the opposite, turns to not. And all of these prefixes here, every one of them, lead to not. Okay? So the conclusion is every time we add any of these prefixes to a word, what do we notice? We notice that the word became negative, became the opposite of the other word. And so we'd say these prefixes must mean not. Very simple. Now, if you want to check it out, all you've got to do is click on the links on your PDF, which is included with this course, or just click on the link, which is right after this particular lesson, and you can go investigate all of these prefixes and see how they are connected, how they change words, and why they're all what I call members of the not family. Okay, these are all what we call negative prefixes. Okay, all right, terrific. So then let's quickly review. Okay, every time I see I am, I know that I may have a negative prefix. Now, sometimes I am will mean in, and we'll look at that a bit later on. Also, in sometimes can mean into, but in this case, it would mean not, and it usually occurs before words that begin with n. Okay, il. Okay, let's say instead of that, we could say illogical. Okay, see, it takes that L form before an L. Okay, IR, again, takes that R form before responsible before another R, so but it means the same thing, okay? And then dis, okay, can mean the opposite also, like we said in dishonest. And on also means not, okay? All right, forgive that terrible handwriting, but on means not, as in unkind, not kind, okay? Let's put that there as in kind. That's an example of that.